So he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karyakaryam Vyavastito. So why I am starting like this? Because for this celebration that we are going to do and that we are doing, I am going to give a itihasa reference for it. So if you see in Ramayanam, after all the Vanaras went to the southern coast of India, and it was only Anjaneya Swami who crossed the ocean and met Sita Mata. And after returning back, the first thing that they did was they celebrated. They celebrated the victory that they obtained on seeing Sita Mata. After that only they conveyed the news to Ramachandra Prabhu and the Sugriva. So the first thing, that is the reference for our celebration also. So Utsav itself is a big celebration. And the way in which the Utsav was conducted was really grand. And I have the entire right to mention it because I have been a part of all our Krishna Janmashtami Utsavam in our Madhurapuri ashram from 2008. And though I am too young at that age, but after becoming old, I have seen all the proceedings that happen there, all the Utsav that we used to do, how the people join in all the events that happen. And I say that the Utsav that we did here was similar to the one that we did in our ashram, that we used to do in our ashram. So, and one great thing about we celebrating it here, I think that it holds a higher position than the Utsav that happened in our ashram. Why? Because our Guru Maharaj is physically present there, but for us, he is present along with us, that is definitely there, but we celebrating it here must be celebrated. Why? Because his physical presence, he is physically present there. Generally when he is there, all the people will be rushing to see him. Whenever Krishna just comes out from Dwaraka, it is mentioned that Nityam Nirikshamanam Yadapi Dwarakaukasam. So he is the same Krishna, he comes out daily at that time, and all the people in Dwaraka will rush outside with him. So see that same Krishna. So it's not going to change a bit, it's going to be the same, but the josh and the happiness that the people of Dwaraka have in seeing Bhagavan is so great, right? So similarly, if Guru Maharaj is literally present there, even though we have office work, even though we have home works, even though we have school work, I used to do like that. Because I used to be in the evenings with Guru Maharaj there in our praying to ashram, and after returning back at night 10 to 2, I will be doing my school homeworks for next day. So that being the case, we will be satisfying it at that moment because the need for that is more great. But if you see here, we all joining together, though it was a working day, though it was a weekend. So whatever it may be, children will be having some classes, we have our household works to do. But what Krishna does is that even though we indulge ourselves in household work, he tends to grab our minds. So that is what Rasa Panchadhyaya tells. So our Krishna, our Thakurji here, our Srinivasa Perumal has grabbed all of us for the 10-day Utsav that happened. We are not here to celebrate just the 10-day Utsav that we did. This is our first Krishna Janmashtami Utsav. And we are also joined here to celebrate the seva that we have been doing for our Perumal and our Thakurji for several years. So the day from which this Namadwaar started by the grace of our Guru Maharaj, from that day onwards, lot of people have been a part of it. I am new to the kainkaryam group, but there have been a lot of people I have heard through Jivanji, Sri Ramji. So there are a lot of people who are being a part of it. Though Ramasetu was constructed by Ramachandra Prabhu, he didn't do anything. He was just sitting there and giving only instructions. So the work was done by all the Vanaras, and even a squirrel was a part of it. So if you see Alvar speaks great about that squirrel, he says, Salamila Anilam Pole. So if you want to do service, you have to learn from squirrel. Bhagavatam says that the what and all I see can be considered as our guru if we learn something from it. That is the concept of the 24 gurus that Bhagavatam says. And if you see in Kanchipuram, there was a great Mahatma, Kanchi Mahaperiva, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swami. and those Pidadipattis will have a prefix called Jagadguru. So one question was posted to him asking, so are you the Guru for the entire world? So then what reason you have kept that name different? And immediately the answer that he gave was really superb and really great. So that shows that he is a great Mahatma. He says that I am not the Guru for all the world, but the entire world is my Guru. So that's why I get the prefix Jagadguru. So I learn everything from whatever I see. So if you see a small squirrel has done a beautiful kainkaryam for Ramachandra Prabhu, and Alvar particularly mentions it's not because of the sankalpam of Ramachandra Prabhu, it's not because of all the vanaras who tiredly worked for it, it was the effort that was put by that small squirrel. So in kainkaryam, there will generally be a talk or generally be a conversation whether the kainkaryam that we do is big or the kainkaryam that we do is really small, whether our kainkaryam will get a big recognition, whether our kainkaryam will not get big recognition. There are few things that are there when we do kainkaryam, but however small or big it may be, but the anugraham or the compassion that Bhagavan shows will be the same for all. So we no need to worry about it. And in order to build that big bridge, though Ramachandra Prabhu's sankalpam was there, but the entire work was done by all the vanaras. Though our Guru Maharaj was really interested and really was having an idea for us to celebrate Utsav here for 10 days, and when our devotees went there, so Guru Maharaj told that we should celebrate it for 10 days, and all the agendas and all the plannings were being made. Though he planned from there, sitting there and through his sankalpam, but all the work was done by us. So, but after doing all the kainkaryam, none of the vanaras went and asked Ramachandra Prabhu for a salary. This is greatness there, right? So whatever work we do, we expect something in return. And that return should happen immediately, otherwise we will not do anything. And from the next time onwards, we will stop doing it. But in the case of kainkaryam, it is not like that. Why? Because however small it may be, or however big it may be, the kainkaryam is really great. Being a part of kainkaryam is really great. Seva is really great. And so all the monkeys join together to build a big bridge for Ramachandra Prabhu and Sita Mata. And that could happen only because of the participation of all the vanaras. Otherwise, Ramachandra Prabhu wouldn't have done all those things. So, the sankalpam of our Guru Maharaj, in order for that to be fulfilled, so we all joined together and we have done a beautiful utsavam here. And when we want to speak about service or kainkaryam, the only devata or only person that comes to our mind is Anjaneya Swami. There is no one who is in parallel to him or is equivalent to him while coming to service. There is a shlokam in Bhagavad Gita which says that Yastvatma Ratirevasya Atma Truptascha Manavaha Atmanyevacha Santushtaha Tasya Karyam Na Vidyate, stating that a person who has realized the Atma Swarupam that is inside, he will not engage in any of the activities. Tasya Karyam Na Vidyate. So he doesn't have any work to be done because he doesn't have any fulfillments to happen. Because he has been fulfilled, he himself is fulfilled. And Anjaneya Swami being in such a state, he involves himself in doing service to Ramachandra Prabhu, so showing that seva is the greatest form of bhakti for the Lord. And Anjaneya Swami, if you see the greatness of Anjaneya Swami, Sundarakandam beautifully shows his greatness. How it shows is that once he started from Mahendra Parvata, he had 3 obstacles in the beginning, then he reached Lanka, there he searched for Sita Mata all along, and finally he met Sita Mata in Ashokavan. And after meeting Sita Mata, he went and spoke with Ravana. After he gave him good advice, but he is not a person who listens to other advices at all. And finally, after completing all those surveys, the result or the thing that Anjaneya Swami obtained was that he had fire in his tail, but he didn't worry about it. Using that also, he turned entire Lanka into ashes and he returned back. And the one thing that we need to note here is when he went to Ramachandra Swami, before that when he reached the shores, all the Vanaras were really happy. And the reason that they gave for the successful return of the conquest of Anjaneya Swami was, they didn't mention about the power or the valor, that the brilliance that he possessed. The only thing that they mentioned was Aho Swaminite Bhakti. So the what made Anjaneya Swami to do such great acts was the bhakti that he had for Ramachandra Prabhu. So bhakti doesn't know any measures. Generally that's why we always equate a bhakta to a mad person. Why? Because he doesn't know any boundaries. If he goes and listens to a lecture, there was a bhakta called Chokamela in Pandharipura Vaibhavam, where he listened to a pravachanam in Pandharipuram saying that if you do Laksha Bhojana to the Bhagavatas, then Bhagavan will be really happy. He doesn't have single penny in his pocket. And immediately he made a sankalpam that tomorrow I will give food I will do Atiti Satkaram for 1000 Bhagavatas. Finding 1000 Bhagavatas the next day itself is really difficult. 1000 people should come first. And then he should serve them food. For that he needs money. He didn't think about any of those things. The only thing that he thought was that he needs to make Bhagavan happy so that I will do this kainkaryam. And all other things were taken care by Bhagavan. Though he didn't get 1000 people, Pandurangan himself came and had food in his place. So bhakti doesn't know any boundaries at all. So what made Anjaneya Swami to travel the entire ocean, and he went to Lanka and returned back? The reason given by the Vanaras was the bhakti that he had. Likewise, the Utsavam that we celebrated here shows us the bhakti that we hold towards our Guru Maharaj and our Perumal. So that defines the kainkaryam that we do. And after Anjaneya Swami returning back, he detailedly explains all the things that he did to all the Vanaras that are present there. And when all the Vanaras catching all the news here, they were really happy that they immediately rushed to Ramachandra Prabhu and they started to tell what all happened there. Likewise, they have crossed the ocean and went to Lanka. But at that moment also, Anjaneya Swami, I have done everything, why are you speaking? He didn't say like that. He was the last person to reach Ramachandra Prabhu. The entire group of monkeys came first, and he was the person who was at the last. And immediately when Ramachandra Prabhu listened to everything and he asked, how is Sita Mata? None know the answer. Because they didn't go and see her, right? So immediately they left, they didn't wait for Anjaneya Swami, you should come now, you are the person, you should tell everything. So Anjaneya Swami didn't feel that, at least now you understood that all the acts were done by me and you are getting all the laurels. No, Anjaneya Swami didn't think like that. And the greatest thing that we need to learn from Anjaneya Swami is that when he came and informed to Ramachandra Prabhu, he didn't mention any of the acts that he did. He just mentioned that I met Sita Mata and she is chaste. There is no issues in that. So these are the two things that he mentioned to Ramachandra Prabhu. He didn't mention that I went to Mahendra Parvata, I took a big group on top of the mountain, I myself was looking like a mountain. He didn't give any of those details. All the obstacles or the hardships that he faced in his conquest to find Sita Mata, none were mentioned to Ramachandra Prabhu. He just mentioned that I met her. So the what that is required for Ramachandra Prabhu is that whether Sita Mata is found out or not. So that answer I have given. So he has not done any of his service for a name or a fame or for his self-interest. So that shows how kainkaryam should also be performed. But if you see what is in the mind of Anjaneya Swami and Sugriva, they mention that though all the Vanaras have went there to the southernmost tip, it would be only Anjaneya Swami who would have crossed the ocean, and it would be only Anjaneya Swami who had the capacity to meet Sita Mata, and he is the only person who could have done it. So this was the thought that was inside Ramachandra Prabhu and Sugriva. So we don't need to worry whether our kainkaryam will be recognized or not. Bhagavan really knows everything. But the way in which we should conduct ourselves while we do kainkaryam, or the way in which we should conduct ourselves after kainkaryam is what we should learn from Anjaneya Swami. So this day we rightly chanted Hanuman Chalisa 3 times, and we are speaking about service seva now. So it beautifully correlates with Anjaneya Swami because he is the person whom we should see as a role model or a person we should see for service. So that's how his kainkaryam is. And what did Anjaneya Swami give him? So what did Ramachandra Prabhu give Anjaneya Swami? He should have given him billions of cash. He should have given him a big kingdom. He didn't give any of those. And the only thing that Ramachandra Prabhu told was that Nakurmi Sadrisham Priyam. I don't know what I can do in reciprocation for the service that you did to me. Even the Lord, who is Bhagavan, who is Shriyapati, who is Lakshmipati, and in this avatar he is Ayodhyapati, he couldn't do anything in return for the service that Anjaneya Swami did. So that shows that how service should be and how Bhagavan should reciprocate it. And finally what Bhagavan does, he gives a big hug for Anjaneya Swami, mentioning that yes, sarvasva bhutostu parishvango hamumataha maya kalamimam prapya dattastasya mahatmaha. This is the only thing that I can do that will be liked by Anjaneya Swami. If you give him 1,000 crores or 100 crores, he himself is a jnani, he would not be using any of those. So that being the case, the Bhagavan should give something in reciprocation which what the bhakta will like. So the primary thing that we want is we should see a happy face of our Guru Maharaj. Our Perumal should be happy. That is the primary thing right now. We have a lot of lists there that will be fulfilled, so don't need to worry about it. But just Bhagavan or our Guru being happy for what the kainkaryam or the service that we have did samarpanam to him. So that is the primary requirement. So prayachati guru krito vaikuntam yogi durlabham. So that has happened for the service that we have done. So Guru Maharaj is really happy. We got the news from Ramaji that he showed everything, all the sevaks that we have been doing, all the kainkaryams that we have been doing, all the photos have been shared and everything would have been shown to our Guru Maharaj. And he is really happy for the seva that we have been doing to him. So now is the celebration time. Like all the Vanaras, how they all joined and entered a place called Madhuvanam. We have a Madhuvanam, the third part of our hall, that is the lobby there. So we can have our food there. Not like the Vanaras, but we will be having more mature way. So with this we will complete this satsang. Sarvatra Govindana Sankirtanam.